Did you know that the park you're looking at, designed by a company out of Delano? The company is called Landscape Structures, and they design some pretty impressive play spaces. Well, these are parks that go beyond just the slides and the swings. Nick Halter looked into all of this from Axios Twin Cities. He joins us now. Nick, tell us about this. You got a chance to check out their headquarters, see some of their designs come together. What was that like? It looks impressive, and I think I've seen some of their work in Eden Prairie as well.
Yeah, you've probably seen it at a lot of playgrounds around the Twin Cities. I've become a playground connoisseur with little kids, and I've been reviewing them on Twitter, like the best playgrounds in the Twin Cities.
Sure.
They invited me out to see how they make them, and this is a huge company. They make 1,500 to 2,000 playgrounds a year right out of the Delano plant.
Wow.
Everywhere from locally in your local park here in the Twin Cities to Brooklyn, New York to Singapore. So they're all over the globe. And what I found was that they're pretty secretive back there. It's a little bit of a Willy Wonka's chocolate factory feel where they showed me a lot of stuff, but there were some places where they test stuff out that's kind of close to being ready, and they wouldn't let me back in there to check it out. But they've got a lot of patents on a lot of really interesting playgrounds, and a lot of their stuff is focused on inclusivity and accessibility.
Sure.
So a lot of stuff where side-by-side play with people that might be in wheelchairs.
Well, and you can see some of the workers spot welding and such. No wood used in these products here.
No, a lot of steel, but a lot of recycled plastics too, which is it's sort of it's really interesting how efficiently they use some of this stuff, recycling it over and over again.
Sure. Is the company still benefiting from the pandemic? What has business been like since 2020?
Well, you've seen this sort of, if you remember when the shutdown happened, a lot of parents like myself were forced to sort of stay outside, take their kids to the playground, and that kind of renewed a lot of cities' focus on playgrounds. So a lot more cities now are investing in these playgrounds. You saw there's a new one up in Shoreview Commons. That's sort of like this massive new playground, and Landscape Structures did that one. But that's kind of a destination playground, but just a lot more investment in this.
I mean, look at that. It just takes it to the next level and then some.
You and I grew up on the rusty old slides and wooden.
Oh yes, oh yes. They're designed to obviously be fun, but they look so cool. How do they come up with their designs? All computer generated, or what do they do?
No, they have a team of designers, and what's really interesting is they come up with new equipment, and then they have this facility out there, and they'll bring in a group of kids in the Twin Cities who will then they'll plan it for about 45 minutes, and they'll bring in hot pizza, nice with the smell kind of wafting through the room, and they'll say, "Kids, do you want to come and eat pizza?" And if they don't want to come and eat the pizza, they know they've got a winner.
How about that?
In the playground equipment.
I like that. That's pretty good. What are some of those most popular trends we're seeing in playgrounds, and what do we expect to see popping up in the future?
Yeah, a few things. One, you're probably noticing a lot of the new playgrounds have the rubber flooring, whereas when we grew up, it was more sand and maybe wood chips. Wood chips, yeah. The rubber flooring is more accessible. Folks in wheelchair can get around there. Also, the grandparents who are taking their kids to the playground can get around easier.
Easier footing.
It's really expensive, so a lot of the cities that are kind of having budget crunches and these things, it's tough. A lot of these things are coming in higher than bids. They're cutting some of it out. Another thing is height. Kids love playgrounds that are kind of scary, but because we kind of do have a kind of a liability laws that allow for lawsuits, they're trying to build these towers that are safer, so they have siding around the sides. If you go in the middle of them, you're never going to drop that far if you fall. So you're seeing a lot more of the towers get kids up higher for more excitement.
But with safety in mind. Yeah,
exactly.
And that's what we want as a dad with youngins.
Yes, you do. But it's interesting because if you go to Europe, and there's a lot been written about this, is they don't have the same liability laws, and they have these really kind of wild, tall playgrounds, and kids just stay there all day long, because they love it. So it's kind of you got to weigh that.
We got to have the happy balance. Well, thanks for showing it to us. All very impressive, good stuff.